What's going on, all you Wayfinders? And welcome back to the show. Everybody out there, get your glasses up in the air one time and take some shots, or whatever you guys got available. I am enjoying some coffee. How about you? Shots! Get woke! Oh my goodness! The moment we've all been waiting for. Our official Wayfinder character and weapon review at Lucian Plays All Day. Real quick, I just wanted to say our goal here is not to show damage or like damage per second or anything like that, or speed, or trying to go for XP or anything like that. But it's just to show play style and animations, and of course, higher damage and higher health is going to come from the more specific builds. Of course, with the ability points. The more specific affinity changes, they're going to make for more unique and strong builds for individuals. And of course, I'm not going to be doing this review on these characters in any particular order, but I do want to point out real quick this is the affinity tab. So once we start looking into specifics, then the stats are gonna change overall. So just to go ahead and jump right in, we're gonna I guess be starting out with Wingrave Wayfinder with the Vanguard weapon, the sword and the shield. Let's go ahead and take a look at our abilities first off. And also, all of this review is going to be reflecting on level 9 plus characters. They are not maxed out characters, not maxed out stats. And I haven't really focused on builds, the specifics in the affinity menu, or the artifacts, which are all going to, change the gameplay. So just to jump right in here with our first Wayfinder, Wingrave, take a look at their abilities. His first ability, Righteous Strike, performs a powerful radiant strike. Incoming damage is reduced by 25% while performing the ability, and hitting an enemy will cause an explosion of healing energy to heal Wingrave and nearby allies. Cooldown refreshed upon using a melee finisher. Of course, level 1 increases the damage reduction while using Righteous Strike by an additional 25%. Level 2, increase damage and healing by 15%. And level 3, healing from Righteous Strike also replenishes some resilience. And of course, I do not have these at level 3. These are all going to be level 1, pretty much. All right, here's his second ability, Radiant Pulse. Forms a divine shield that blocks projectiles and grants a defense boost to allies standing behind the shield. When the shield forms, it sends out a radiant pulse, dealing damage to enemies in front of the shield. Level 1, Radiant Pulse sends out a second pulse of damage when the divine shield ends. And level 2, Radiant Pulse sends out multiple smaller pulses of damage throughout its duration. And level 3, slowly heals allies standing behind the shield. And here is Wingrave's third ability, Judgment. Marks enemies for judgment. Anyone hitting a judged enemy will restore their own health. At level 1, hits against judged enemies deal additional break damage. Level 2 increases amount of heals per hit by 10%. Level 3, reduce weapon power and ability power of judged enemies by 10%. And the ultimate ability here, ability number 4, Divine Aegis. Creates a powerful barrier that protects Wingrave and all allies inside of it, making them immune to all damage and healing them over time while standing in the barrier. Level 1 extended the duration of the invulnerability field by 50%. At level 2, any incoming hits while in the Divine Aegis build up stacks of vengeance, increasing weapon power for 10 seconds. And level 3, all Wayfinders inside the invulnerability field, when it ends, will be granted a damage shield that blocks a moderate amount of damage and lasts a maximum of 20 seconds. And of course, the weapon ability Power Bash performs a powerful shield bash that does a massive impact and high guard break damage. Power increases for each latent power pip consumed. And Wingrave's passives, the character passive, Healing Pulse. Melee finishers heal Wingrave and one nearby ally. The archetype Art of War. Weapon abilities charge 15% faster when using a weapon ability inspires the War Master and nearby allies for a short time, increasing weapon power by 10% per ability level. Stacks up to 30%. And Dodge Roll. War Masters have an additional 20 stamina and restore some resilience with each roll. Here's the weapon passive Guardian. Offers a balanced playstyle with a mix of offensive and defensive options. Sword attacks deal additional health damage, while shield attacks deal additional break damage. Shield benefits from an improved block over executioner weapons. Blocking will convert all incoming damage to the stamina meter. Timing an attack immediately after a successful block will perform a block counter, dealing a large amount of damage. And if the latent power meter is full, this will also bank a pip. And the weapon passive Latent Power. Blocking and hitting enemies with melee attacks will build up the latent power meter. When the meter is full, a block counter or shield slam attack performed by holding the heavy attack, an air slam attack, or as the final attack in a heavy attack combo will bank a pip next to the meter. You can store up to 3 levels this way. Performing a weapon ability will consume all pips and power up the ability based on how many pips were used. All right. Again, that is Wingrave, Wayfinder, and Vanguard. Let's jump right in. Here is... I did notice the Wayfinders... The animations are slightly different here in the Skylight than in Mission sometimes. I'm just going to be running this Scholar's Corridor, Sphere Level 1. Going to be running the same mission for all the different Wayfinders and weapons, just to check out some gameplay. Hope you guys are all enjoying your time out there, enjoying your day, and cheers, everybody. Again, this is our official Wayfinder character and weapon review. Here is Wingrave. Nice, beautiful skin, beautiful character. Loving the sword and the shield. I figure we can go ahead and watch this cutscene at least the first time through. I'll probably go ahead and skip it the next couple of times. Alright, some nice combos with my light attack. Trying to dodge roll out of the way. That was my own fault. I mistimed that judge. Some decent damage from the sword and shield. First ability working there. Use our second ability. First ability is a nice swinging strike. We'll go ahead and cast Judgment. Cast our third ability. So we can try to gain some life. I didn't roll out of the way fast enough there. Again, my fault. And I will be doing another review, a full-on review, once I'm fully maxed out all the characters. And of course, I'll have a lot more experience with each of the Wayfinders. But for now, still can't get out of the way of that. Just gonna check out all the different Wayfinders and see what all they do. Some really nice slash attacks. Alright, let's check out our ultimate ability here. Nice. Gaining a lot of health. Went back to full health. Dodge out of the way of these attacks. First attack has a nice range. Okay. So you can mark the boss for Judgment. Probably end up gaining a lot more health by casting your third ability, Judgment, on an enemy with more health. Almost got out of the way that time, I feel like. Here's our Wingrave's fourth ability here. Protective Dome. Of course, gaining health and being immune. Nice slash attack out of that first ability. Of course, the heavy attack as well. Weapon doing massive amounts of damage. First ability again. Some decent combos. think that's 3 light attacks and then 1 heavy attack. There's a first ability, slash. Second ability with the shield. The third ability, which casts Judgment. Forgot about the weapons special. There, that build up. That is Wingrave. Very good, nice and tanky Wayfinder. Very good. The weapon performed nice. You know, a couple of quick slashes. I failed to point out that there is a block with that shield. You can hold in the aim and block with that shield. A lot of nice combos. A lot of healing. Very good for the squad. Very good for the team. I know I always enjoy seeing a nice Wingrave in the squad. I always try to rush to the rush to that dome. Nothing beats, you know, trying to jump inside and gaining health and doing as much damage as you can without worrying about taking damage. All right, we're gonna move right along. Again, I don't really have any particular order here. I'm gonna try to hit up the, I guess, intro, the 3 starters first. Here is Nis, Wayfinder with Slicer and Dicer weapon, the daggers. Looks like Nis is level 10. Like I said, I just barely got the Wayfinders to a high enough rank so I can unlock all the abilities. Ability 1 for Nis, Shadow Step, dash in line, dealing damage along the way. After a short delay, a Gloom clone will dash from your initial position to you, dealing damage to enemies it passes through. On level 1, using Shadow Step increases ability power by 10% for 6 seconds. Dashing through an ally will grant them this effect as well. Level 2, the follow-up clone has 50% piercing, and level 3 increases the damage of the follow-up attack by 15%. Ability 2, Umbral Aura. Nis is empowered by Umbral magic, causing her next 3 dodges to pierce a nearby enemy with shadow. Nearby allies are also empowered for 1 dodge. Level 1 refreshes 1 charge of Shadow Step. Level 2, Umbral Aura damage gains 50% piercing. And level 3 grants an additional stack of Umbral Aura to Nis and to allies. Increases the maximum number of Umbral Auras stacks to 4. Third ability, Vengeful Shade. Briefly become immune to attacks while damaging enemies around Nis. Following up with a light or heavy attack causes Nis to slam back down, further damaging enemies. Following up with a dodge causes Nis to backflip away. At level 1, performing a follow-up reduces incoming damage by 30% for 8 seconds. Level 2 increases damage by 10%. At level 3, backflip follow-up refreshes half of Vengeful Shade cooldown. Excuse me. And a slam follow-up grants a charge of Shadow Step. All right, Niss's fourth ability, Gloom Shroud. For 10 seconds, Shadow Step can be used at no cost. Level 1, while in Gloom Shroud, you have 100% piercing. At level 2, dashing while in Gloom Shroud causes a nearby enemy to be pierced by shadow as if Niss had Umbral Aura. This does not consume Umbral Aura stacks. And at level 3, after Gloom Shroud ends, all nearby allies gain 3 stacks of Umbral Aura, and Niss gains max stacks. And the dagger's weapon ability, Steel Volley, spins and throws daggers in a large radius around the Wayfinder. Niss's passive, after dodging, gain AP for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Archetype, Innervation Orbs. Defeating enemies has a chance to spawn an Innervation Orb, which can be consumed by the Arcanist or their allies to increase ability power. Excuse me. Archetype, Blink. Arcanist benefit from the largest invincibility window when dodging attacks with their blink, and also travel an increased distance. The weapon passive, Twin Strikes, specialize in high frequency of attacks, high damage over time, and high mobility, deals low guard break damage, can perform a parry, and when timed correctly will stagger attacking enemies and avoid damage, can perform flourishes for powerful attacks that also grant a short window of invulnerability. Benefits greatly from heat of battle, able to build combo multipliers quickly, can build up to 3 times multiplier over 20 hits, rather than a 2 times multiplier over 10 hits, like other melee weapons. Damage starts low, but ramps up greatly over the course of a dagger combo. And Blade Dance. Build flourish points with every 4th consecutive melee attack. Tap heavy input to spend all stored points. Perform different flourishes depending on how many flourish points are spent. 0 flourish points, a weak spin attack. 1 flourish point deals moderate damage and grants a small window of invulnerability during the attack. Also grants a 15-second weapon power buff. 2 flourish points performs a powerful direct attack, refreshes weapon power buff, and grants a small window of invulnerability during the attack. 3 flourish points performs a powerful area attack, refreshes weapon power buff, and grants a small window of invulnerability during the attack. Each flourish point spent increases the Blade Dancer meter. When filled, allows the use of the weapon ability. Performing the weapon ability will also trigger Blade Dance, causing all weapon attacks to hit twice for a short period of time. So this is Niss. I love how Niss runs. Niss runs with her with her arms to her side. I'm pretty sure she only runs like this in the skylight though. So getting a lot of anime vibes from Niss. So here we are checking out Niss. Wayfinder. Hope everybody's enjoying this game as much as I am. Again, this is our first review of all the Wayfinders and their starting weapons, basically. Hope I'm getting all the starting weapons correct. I know I accidentally got the one starting weapon wrong when I first played Kairos character. All right, now that she's got her daggers in her hand, she's running slightly different with her daggers. Feels slightly faster. A little bit faster than Windgrave so far. Not to compare the Wayfinders to each other. Oh yeah, I should have skipped that. Oh yeah, I meant to skip that. Jump in and start doing some attacks immediately. Noticing a big speed difference on these daggers. Mixing it up between the light attacks and these heavy attacks. And let's check out her first ability. Or I'm gonna miss her first ability up completely. And get trapped by the spider. Oh, I forgot to give a warning also. There's spiders in this game. For some people that don't like spiders, I guess, you know, warning, there's spiders in this game. Alright, there's her first ability there, that dash. Dash through again. Alright, here's her second ability. And we'll check out her third ability here. Here's her fourth ability. Nice dagger action. Guess who wasn't paying attention to their health? User error, I can assure you. That's alright, we get to use these daggers. Just a little bit more. Use some health potions and make sure that doesn't happen again. Some nice animations coming from the daggers though, for sure. I think maybe that's why I wasn't paying attention to my health as much. Watching these beautiful swings and swooshes. Her first ability again. Dash through using that first ability. That was the third ability there. More use. Putting that first ability back to use. Go. Knew there was going to be some babies somewhere. So I keep messing with that second ability. Wild plays right there. So after using that fourth ability, I just kept using the first ability over and over again, trying to make sure the camera stayed. There we go. Great animations from the daggers. Some beautiful spin moves, slashing multiple enemies at a time. And again, using this first ability. I'm out of the first ability. Here's the third ability. Second ability. Here's the fourth ability. And of course, I have infinite of the first ability while I'm using the fourth ability. And then the weapon ultimate there. Spinning around and shooting daggers in all directions. Coffee is so good. So that was Nis Wayfinder. Drop some emotes in the chat. Let everybody know you guys are alive and well. Say hi to YouTube. If anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns about any of these Wayfinders, or if I've missed anything, feel free to, drop a comment. Let me know if I missed anything. All right, moving right along. Like I said, I'm not really doing these Wayfinders in any particular order. Jumping right in, we've seen Wingrave, we've seen Nis. I believe the other of the 3 starters is Silo. Now, my Silo is my main character, and I did complete the main story quest with Silo, so he is quite a bit more leveled up. And the weapon also, the ransom weapon. Let's go ahead and take a look at Silo's first ability, Firebomb. Toss a firebomb that ignites enemies, dealing damage over time, causes a chain reaction with oil bomb, resulting in a large explosion. Level 1 increases direct damage by 10%. Level 2 increases burn damage by 10%. And level 3, if any enemy dies while burning, they will detonate, dealing damage to nearby enemies. Ability number 2, Oil Bomb, leaves a pool of oil in front of Silo, slowing enemies. Enemies directly hit by the bomb are also oiled, remaining slowed even after leaving the oil pool and taking additional damage when ignited by Firebomb. Refreshes a charge of Firebomb. Level 1 burns enemies hit when the pool of oil detonates, dealing damage over time. Level 2 oiled enemies are more likely to be critically hit. And level 3 increased damage and guard break of detonation by 15%. Ability number 3, Proto Clone. Dash backwards, leaving behind a clone that pulls nearby enemies in. The clone will taunt a nearby enemy into attacking it until it expires. Level 1, increased duration of the clone by 25%. Level 2, shooting the clone with a ranged attack will cause a concussive explosion, dealing high break damage to nearby enemies. Level 3, add an explosion on expiration, dealing damage to all enemies in range. And the ultimate ability, Arc Nemesis. Silo sends out Egg to shock all enemies in the area, dealing a burst of damage. EGG Egg remains in the area for a short time, slowing and damaging nearby enemies. Level 1, increased damage by 10%. Level 2, slows enemies hit by 40%. And level 3, affected enemies take 20% more damage for 6 seconds. Silo's character passive, deals 10% bonus melee and ranged standard shot damage to enemies that are debuffed, slow burning, poisoned, stunned. Archetype for the passive, expose weakness. On a critical hit, exposes the enemy for 6 seconds, marking it for teammates. While exposed, enemies take an additional 10% damage from all sources. Dash. Survivalist dashes have increased range and benefit from a reduced stamina cost, allowing them to dash more often. Weapon class, Marksman. Rifles have infinite ammo, but have a clip size, which must be reloaded to continue firing when empty. When reloading, an active reload minigame will begin, and hitting the reload button or fire button again in the designated window will result in a short-term boost of power. Missing the window will result in a longer reload time. Melee attacks deal higher break damage. Subclass features specialized for long-range combat, well balanced between power, fire rate, and distance. Active reload bonus, 2 times firing speed boost. Partial resilience piercing. Rifles partially ignore damage reduction from armored enemies. Eagle Eye. Shooting enemies will build up the Eagle Eye meter, and as it increases, the chance of a weak spot appearing on the enemy increases. Shooting the weak spot will deal bonus damage and grant a locked and loaded charge, allowing a single use of the weapon ability. Up to 3 locked and loaded charges can be stored up at one time. I do have a rifle skin on this rifle. This is Silo Wayfinder. Let's check him out. Oh no. Yeah, let's go ahead and check our Silo Wayfinder out as our review continues as soon as we get loaded back in here. No worries, this game is scheduled to release in approximately 5 months or sometime around February 2024. Hey, so we still got a while to go. So no worries. Let's go ahead and try to help this shut down a little faster. Hey, no worries. A lot of ups and downs, growing pains here while we're in early access. No problem. No problem at all. A couple of deep breaths. A little bit of patience goes a long way. I appreciate you guys for being here, for hanging out with us, for always being so supportive. And I hope these reviews are helpful to everyone. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the gameplay of all the different Wayfinders and weapons. Hopefully I'm giving these Wayfinders and weapons, hopefully I'm doing them justice. I know I did go down once. Oof. Did go down once with this. Again, I can assure you guys it's because I am it's player user error. I can assure you, user error. Yeah, that comes that goes with not paying attention sometimes to your life meter, your health bar. Cheers, everybody. Nice. Moving right along. So my main goal here is to go over each of the Wayfinder's abilities and the passives, and of course show gameplay of both the Wayfinder and the abilities and the weapons. Again, my goal is not to speed through or to see who's the strongest or which weapon's performing better. And again, I think a lot of that's going to change in the later game when we start to work more on our specific builds for our Wayfinders and weapons, and you know, traverse through the affinity menu. And I'm sure we're gonna have a builds tab in the Discord as well, so everybody can share you guys' amazing builds. For now, we're running no builds straight, level 9 plus. Just have the abilities unlocked so we can take a look at everything, see what you guys want to go for next. We're gonna jump straight in. This is going to be for Silo's gameplay. Again, my Silo is leveled up a little bit more, quite a bit more than the level 9 for the other players, the other Wayfinders currently. This is the first of our official Wayfinder character and weapon reviews here at Lucian Plays All Day. Thank you guys so much for being here, for tuning in. And again, if I'm missing anything on any of these Wayfinders, or there's something that you guys would like to share, feel free to leave a comment. Let me know all about it. That way I can add it in the next review. I do plan on doing a full-on review of all the Wayfinders and weapons again once I have them all fully maxed out. And of course, I'll be, I'll have a lot more experience. So, rifle weapon, and there is that little mini game that they're talking about. And there's that hitbox. Alright, here is Silo's first ability. Throwing down some bombs. Go ahead and throw down our second ability first. Then our first ability after they get hit with that slow. I don't think I've successfully dodged that yet today. So what happens when you don't get that reload? Of course, you can't fire for a second or two, however long. Of course, when you do get it in that sweet spot, you have an increased fire rate for basically the first half of the magazine. Second ability again, oil bomb. First ability, a fire bomb, throwing it down. Here's the third ability here, the clone. Of course, the enemy is going to be attacking the clone, so we can do some damage. Remember to hit that sweet spot. Of course, the fourth ability here. Fourth ability, ultimate, doing massive amounts of damage to all the nearby enemies. Alright, here's going to be the weapon ultimate here. Of course, the guns are much more ranged than the melees. Of course, even though I do have a gun, I still have a melee also.
You know what to do.
So there's the fourth ability again, ultimate. Doing massive amounts of damage. Here's the second ability again, oil bomb, slowing down the enemy. First ability, fire bomb, throwing down some grenades. And again, the third ability, the clone here. I like to also use the clone, if any of the teammates go down, drop the clone to go to revive the players. Also, revive your teammates. Gives you some breathing room then. And that was Silo. Another amazing Wayfinder. Nis was super fast with those daggers. Wingrave had those awesome healing abilities. Silo with those awesome grenades, long range attacks. With everybody having different play styles, you know, I could only imagine all of the different play styles we're gonna end up seeing with each Wayfinder by the time it's finished. All right, moving on down the line. That was Silo. So outside of the three starters to choose from, Nis, Wingrave, Silo, we do encounter Senja, Kairos, and Venomess. Let's go ahead and take a look at Senja next. Senja with the Typhoon. It's a two-handed axe. This is also a skin for the Typhoon here. Go ahead and move away from that spawn area a little bit. Running around. Nice, large character. Beautiful skin. Go ahead and take a look at the abilities. Ability 1 for Senja. Gladiator Pummel. Punch forward, then hold to showboat. On release, Senja punches again. Fully showboating increases the damage of the follow-up punch. At level 1, next weapon attack within 5 seconds deals bonus ability damage. Level 2 increases fully charged punch damage by 20%. And at level 3 increases follow-up weapon attack damage by 15%. Ability number 2, gain favor. Hold to showboat for the roaring crowd. On release, taunts nearby enemy while buffing Senja and her allies, increasing weapon power and ability power to 10 seconds. At level 1, increases effectiveness on buff on a full hold by 50%. Level 2, damage taken while showboating during gain favor is reduced by an additional 10%. And level 3 increases crowd meter gain from gain favor by 50%. Third ability, Lightning Grasp. Uses lightning to damage and pull all displaceable enemies in a large cone towards Senja. Increases pull range by 33%. is level 1. Level 2 slows enemies hit by 30% for 6 seconds. And level 3, pulled enemies take 30% more damage for 30 seconds. Excuse me, for 6 seconds. Level 3, pulled enemies take 30% more damage for 6 seconds. All right. Ability to number 4, the ultimate ability, Grand Finale. In the form of a lightning spear, Senja charges to smash an enemy, dealing massive damage to them and fully filling the crowd's favor. Level 1 increases damage by 10%. Level 2 deals 50% increased splash damage to enemies near the punch. And level 3 applies knockdown to enemies hit by splash damage. And of course, the weapon ability Shatter consumes all momentum to perform a strong overhead slam. A direct hit will sunder the target, increasing all damage taken by 10% per momentum level consumed for 10 seconds. The passive ability for Senja, crowd favorite, holding input for Gladiator Pummel and Gain Favor abilities will cause Senja to showboat. While showboating, she cannot be staggered, takes reduced damage, and increases the crowd's favor. As the crowd's favor increases, Senja gains weapon power and ability power. Passive for the archetype, Art of War. Weapon abilities charge 15% faster when using a weapon ability, inspires the War Master and nearby allies for a short time, increasing weapon power by 10% per ability level. Stacks up to 30%. Dodge Roll. War Masters have an additional 20 stamina and restores some resilience with each roll. And execute for the weapon passive, Executioner. All melee attacks excel at dealing high damage to health and resilience. Heavy input attacks are slower but will build additional momentum and deal additional damage and break damage. A looping crossover combo can be performed by altering light and heavy melee attacks when near the end of a combo tree or after a dash attack. While not as effective as a shield, Executioner weapons are also capable of blocking attacks. Blocking will convert all incoming damage to the stamina meter. Nice. While blocking, performing an attack input will result in a quicker shoulder tackle, dealing damage while reducing incoming damage. And momentum. Builds momentum as you swing the weapon, decaying quickly when not attacking. As momentum builds, incoming resilience damage is reduced, allowing you to keep attacking for longer without being guard broken. Performing a weapon ability will consume all momentum and increase the power of the ability for each level of momentum consumed. Okay. So this is Senja and the Typhoon. Let's jump right in here. Hey. Everybody out there, get your glasses up in the air one time and take some shots of whatever you guys got available. I am enjoying some coffee still. How about you guys? Shots! Get woke! Hope you guys are all enjoying the action today. Hope you guys are all enjoying these reviews. Again, these are all generalized, general review. These Wayfinders are level 9 plus, so they're not really maxed out. I think my highest one so far was think, at 23. Jump in and start swinging this Typhoon. All right, there's the first ability there. Some punches. Use our weapon ultimate here. Some light attacks. It's a nice heavy attack. There's some rolls with the heavy attack at the end, making a nice shoulder check. Better go ahead and heal up as I'm out of. Hey, there, I held the first ability. We're gonna hold our. Whoops! Shouldn't have held that second ability there. There we go, a little bit of showboat action. Gotta hold the ability, basically winding up the punch, winding up the hit. Here's our second ability. She moves a little bit slower, but she packs one heck of a punch when she does make contact. Wait for those to go through again. Nice and fluid motions, you know. Kind of slow and deliberate motions. Some heavy attacks again. We'll go ahead and hit our third ability here. And now we're gonna hit our fourth ability. That was the ultimate there. Light attacks, comboed with some heavy attacks. Go ahead and heal up. Use our weapons ultimate there. Wind up our first ability. Wind up our second ability. All right, that was the first ability in combination with a light attack. Better go ahead and heal up. Very nice. ability, hold it to taunt, and then it finishes. Second ability. Third ability. Light attack. And of course, weapon ultimate. Yeah, very awesome. Another awesome Wayfinder. I really like the taunting aspect and holding the abilities there. Especially when you can get the animations and stuff to line up and time them perfectly with the boss attacks. I did notice that the stamina for Senja was seemingly a little bit lower. I kept running out, but as long as you can keep your abilities up, seem to not really struggle too much with that stamina. Should check to see how many times each character can roll. All right. So that was Senja. Let's go ahead and check out Kairos. Of course, the Kairos, I put the Epitaph, which came with the Heroic Kairos. So now we're just going to switch it up a little bit and take a look at the Hellswarm shotgun alongside of regular Kairos. And I guess while we're checking out regular Kairos, side by side, regular Kairos compared to Heroic Kairos, I believe unranked, they were at a power rating. Geez, I wish I could remember the actual stat numbers. I want to say one was like, I want to say like 100, and the other one was like 126 or something like that. But there was just slight stat differences between the two characters. Not by much, but still stat differences. So let's go ahead and take a look at Kairos. And their abilities are the same. So Kairos, first ability, Savage Rake. Rakes the ground with violent energy, dealing damage to all enemies in front of Kairos. Arcane fragments can be consumed to cast Savage Rake without using an ability. Charge. At level 1, increases Rake damage by 10%. At level 2, unlock a third Savage Rake combo finisher, which deals an extra 25% damage. Level 3, hitting a target with Savage Rake heals Kairos a small amount. Second ability, Siphon Radiant. Releases a wave of energy around Kairos that damages enemies and absorbs arcane power, reducing cooldowns and granting an arcane fragment. At level 1, cooldown reduction increases to 50%. Level 2, Siphon Radiant generates 1 fragment per enemy hit up to the fragment cap. Level 3, increases damage taken for 10 seconds. Ability number 3, Arcane Focus. Marks enemies in the immediate area. Mark increases in power as the marked target is hit. After reaching max power of, or after 8 seconds, the marked explodes, dealing damage based on the power of the mark. Level 1, increases explosion damage by a moderate amount. Level 2 increases effect radius of arcane focus, and level 3 deals a small amount of damage each time you hit a target with arcane focus. And the ultimate ability, Hand of Reckoning, deals massive damage to enemies in a large radius around Kairos. At level 1, slows enemies by 50% for 6 seconds. At level 2, generates an arcane fragment per enemy hit. And level 3, increases damage by 15%. The weapon ability here, Volcano, fires a mortar blast into the sky, which rains down fireballs in an area around the player over time. That is the Hellswarm shotgun. Kairos passive, Arcane Fragments. Arcane Fragments grant extra charges of Savage Rake. Generate arcane fragments by using Siphon Radiant on enemies, landing combo finishers, and from various ability upgrades. Passive archetype, Innervation Orbs. Defeating enemies has a chance to spawn an Innervation Orb, which can be consumed by the Arcanist or their allies to increase ability power. Blink. Arcanists benefit from the largest invincibility window when dodging attacks with their blink, and also travel an increased distance. All right, the passive for the weapon, Marksman subclass Shotgun. Shotguns have infinite ammo, but have a clip size, which must be reloaded to continue firing when empty. When reloading, an active reload minigame will begin, and hitting the reload button or fire button again when in the designated window will result in a short-term boost of power. Missing the window will result in a longer reloading time. Melee attacks deal higher break damage. Subclass features specialized for short-ranged combat, fires a cluster of bullets, dealing high damage at close range if all bullets hit. Clustered shots lead to more easily hitting eagle eyes. Active reload bonus, 2 times firing speed boost. Partial resilience, piercing. Shotguns partially ignore damage reduction from armored enemies. And eagle eye. Shooting enemies will build up the eagle eye meter, and as it increases, the chance of a weak spot appearing on the enemy increases. Shooting the weak spot will deal bonus damage and grant a locked and loaded charge, allowing a single use of the weapon ability. Up to 3 locked and loaded charges can be stored up at one time. So this is Kairos floating around here. I like how he floats here in the skylight. Cheers, everybody. Thank you again so much for everybody for being here, for hanging out with us. Hopefully you guys are all having a fantastic time out there, having a great day. I appreciate all the lurks, all you guys, just for being here. Hopefully you guys find these reviews and these videos helpful. Here we are checking out Kairos. And the Hellswarm shotgun. Start off by blasting this big spider in the face with this shotgun. Missed my reload. Gotta take out some of these little spiders. Alright. Take a look at the first ability here. Nice swooping slashes. Second ability here. Make sure to hit that reload. So you can hit the reload two ways. You can just basically pull the trigger again a second time for that reload, or you can hit the reload button. I prefer to hit the pull the trigger again. Of course, as you hit the enemy, you're gonna get that weak spot. All right, here's our third ability. And weapon ability there. Mortars raining down. Check out the first ability. Use the first ability a couple of times there. All right, here's the fourth ability, the ultimate. Raining down. Nice dodges. Some more first ability. Check out the second ability. Better heal up. Third ability there. Shotgun's really awesome. I do wish the fire rate was just a little bit faster, but I understand it's a shotgun. I just didn't think it was a pump shotgun. And it does have 4 barrels. Ooh. A lot of damage coming out of this shotgun, though. So I think it's performing rather well. More first ability, second ability, third ability, and fourth. And here's the mortar strike from the weapon special. First ability, some nice rakes. Second ability there, third. And that's Kairos. And the Hellswarm shotgun. Awesome. A lot of damage coming out of those rakes, especially whenever you cast them several times back to back. You do gotta kind of be a little bit close to the enemy, but, you know, basically like I'm using a melee weapon. I do want to remind everybody that you can mix and match all the weapons. All the weapons can be used with all the different Wayfinders. So that's always a plus. All right, let's float on down to closer to the portal here. All right, so moving on down the list. So we've checked out Silo. That was regular Kairos. We've already taken a look out at Senja, Nis, Wingrave. Let's go ahead and take a look at Venomess next. Venomess with the Nightshade rifle. Venomess's first ability, Transfusion. Shoot a volley of poison needles that lock on to nearby enemies, dealing damage. Hitting an enemy with a needle causes a healing projectile to seek a nearby Wayfinder. If the enemy was affected by venom, these projectiles also heal a small amount over time. Level 1 increases the damage by 15%. Level 2 increases the healing by 15%. And level 3 fires an additional 2 homing needles. Ability number 2, Vampiric Blast. Launch a bomb that absorbs up to 5 nearby poison clouds. After a brief delay, the bomb explodes, dealing damage to enemies and healing allies based on the number of poison clouds absorbed. Level 1 increases the healing by 15%. Level 2, when converting a cloud, causes the cloud to erupt, dealing direct damage before disappearing. Level 3, players are healed over time based on the number of clouds converted. Ability number 3, Venom Thrusters. Dash in a direction, leaving a trail of poison clouds behind you. Poison clouds damage and apply stacks of venom to enemies. Level 1 spawns an additional venom cloud. Level 2 reduces damage taken by 50% for 3 seconds. Level 3, dashing through an enemy slows them by 30% for 8 seconds. And Venomess's ultimate ability, Deep Breath. Fire a massive explosion that damages and applies 5 stacks of empowered venom to enemies. Empowered venom deals damage over time and counts as additional stacks of venom for the Master of Venoms and Transfusion abilities. Level 1 increases the damage by 10%. Level 2, allies in the area of the explosion are healed over time. Level 3, ultimate builds 10% faster. And the weapon ability here, Wyvern's Fury, reloads the gun with an empowered clip. During this clip, the weapon is fully automatic and every bullet is infused to apply a stack of poison on hit. Poison is a small dot that stacks up to 20 times and deals damage over 6 seconds. Venomous passive, Master of Venoms. Weapon hits apply venom, dealing damage over time and stacking up to 5 times. Weapon hits against enemies with 5 stacks of venom create a poison cloud that deals damage and applies stacks of venom. A poison cloud can only be created by this effect once every 5 seconds. All right. Passive archetype. Expose weakness. On critical hit, expose the enemy for 6 seconds, marking it for teammates. While exposed, enemies take an additional 10% damage from all sources. Dash. Survivalist dashes have increased range and benefit from a reduced stamina cost, allowing them to dash more often. Marksman. This is the weapon passive. Marksman subclass rifle. Rifles have infinite ammo but have a clip size which must be reloaded to continue firing when empty. When reloading, an active reload minigame will begin, and hitting the reload button or fire button again when the designated window will result in a short-term boost of power. Missing the window will result in a longer reload time. Melee attacks deal higher break damage. Subclass features specialized for long-range combat. Fires in 3-round bursts, a high burst of damage potential with a high fire rate. Active reload bonus is 2 times weapon power boost. Partial resilience, piercing. Rifles partially ignore damage reduction from armored enemies. And Eagle Eye. Shooting enemies will build up the Eagle Eye meter, and as it increases, the chance of a weak spot appearing on the enemy increases. Shooting the weak spot will deal bonus damage and grant a locked and loaded charge, allowing a single use of the weapon ability. Up to 3 locked and loaded charges can be stored up at one time. That is Venomous and the Nightshade. Let's check it out. Alrighty, here we go. This is our official review of all the Wayfinders currently and their starting weapons, basically. I did show the Hellswarm shotgun also, which is not Kairos' weapon. I do have the epitaph for the heroic Kairos. All right, Venomous. Nice, gorgeous looking skin. Love the heels, love the look. Oh yeah, let me skip that. All right, missing our very first reload. Hitting our second one though. right, here's our first ability. And second ability. Go ahead and wait for that one to finish reloading completely. Reload. Check out our third ability there. Probably shouldn't have been up against the wall as much as I was, but cast our second ability, throw our Venom Bomb, cast our first ability, and here is the weapon ability. It reloads, but now instead of a burst weapon, we've got a fully automatic. Once we run out of that magazine, it goes back to burst. Which is cool because whenever you run out of ammo, you can just hit your button and reload with your weapon ultimate. And of course the bullets are venomous, poisonous bullets. And welcome on in here. Hope you guys are all enjoying your time out there, enjoying your day. We are nearly finished with our full-on review of all the Wayfinders. We are in the middle of checking out Venomous. First ability, second ability, throwing that canister. Here's our fourth ability. That was our ultimate there. Run our second ability. First ability again. Keep shooting. Use our weapons ultimate. First ability again. Nice. Not bad. Awesome. Here's our second ability. And third ability. Sweeping through. Leaving behind a trail. First ability didn't have any, no targets. Hey. So that was Venomous and the Nightshade. Very interested to see what all Wayfinder and weapon combos we're going to end up with. I'm sure there's going to be some awesome combinations on some really good builds. And again, when talking about builds specifically, going to be more referencing the specifics on the stats, more or less in the affinity, from the affinity menu. All right, so that was Venomous. All right, I do believe we have one more Wayfinder to check out. We've already checked out Silo, Senja, Nis, Wingrave. We just got done looking at Venomess. We've already looked at Kairos before that. So let's just go ahead and take a look at Heroic Kairos. And the Epitaph. The only thing, which is the reason why I saved this for last, the only thing is there's kind of an issue with my visual glitch, a visual bug, where I am looking at a rifle and it's supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look like the scythe. So we just got to use our imagination for this last review. Again, the abilities are the same for Heroic Kairos as regular Kairos. So ability number 1 is Savage Rake. Ability number 2, Siphon Radiant. Ability number 3, Arcane Focus. Ability number 4, Hand of Reckoning. And the passive ability, Arcane Fragments. And the passive, the Archetype Innervation Orb and Blink. And for this weapon, it is Executioner. All melee attacks excel at dealing high damage to health and resilience. Heavy input attacks are slower, but will build additional momentum and deal additional damage and break damage. A looping crossover combo can be performed by altering light and heavy melee attacks when near the end of a combo tree or after a dash attack. While not as effective as a shield, Executioner weapons are also capable of blocking attacks. Blocking will convert all incoming damage to the stamina meter. While blocking, performing an attack input will result in a quick shoulder tackle, dealing damage while reducing incoming damage. And momentum. Builds momentum as you swing the weapon, decaying quickly when not attacking. As momentum builds, incoming resilience damage is reduced, allowing you to keep attacking for longer without being guard broken. Performing a weapon ability will consume all momentum and increase the power of the ability for each level of momentum consumed. So again, this is for the Epitaph weapon, which is currently, I have a visual bug where it looks like I'm holding a rifle. So let's go ahead and check out our last Wayfinder. I should play with the sword instead of the Epitaph. I should play with the other sword. But it's all good. Gonna have to check out our next official Wayfinder character and weapon review here at Lucian Plays All Day. Thank you all so much for being here, for hanging out with us. Again, this is going to be our last Wayfinder. This is the Heroic Kairos. Again, I only got my Wayfinders to level 9 plus just to be able to show you guys gameplay of each of the different Wayfinders and, of course, a wide variety of weapons. And don't forget, you guys can mix and match the weapons with the Wayfinders. So again, I've got a visual bug right now, and I'm really swinging a scythe, the Epitaph scythe. So I'm just gonna be swinging away here. Some more dodges. Use our ability there. Gotta make sure I get out of the way of these attacks. I say that, then immediately stand there in the attack. Alright. Now that the boss is able to take damage, go ahead and focus back on that. Alright, second ability there. First ability. Several times. Third ability. Back to swinging. That was the weapon ultimate. There's the weapon ultimate there. Taking out a lot of the enemy at once. So the epitaph's pretty nice. Doing a lot of damage with the epitaph. Again, I've got a visual bug right now, so I am swinging a scythe. Do some heavy attack. Here's our first ability again. And use our fourth ability, which I should have waited for literally one more second. Our third ability, swoosh a couple of ones. Go back to using some light attacks. Take out some of these smaller enemy. Using the heavy attack with the scythe. Again, I've got a visual bug, so it looks like I'm holding a rifle when I'm holding a scythe weapon. So these big swooshes, which I think is actually a decent range for melee. All right, go back to using our abilities here. There's our weapon ability, third ability, second ability. Back to our first. Couple swooshes. Run up, jump, heavy melee. Oh, for the win. All right, go back to using our light melee for a little bit. Go ahead and use a health. Use a health potion. Check out our weapons ultimate ability here. There it is, the epitaph. And yeah, second ability here. First ability with the swipes. Again, this is Heroic Kairos. Third ability, which is got the same abilities as the regular Kairos. And yeah, hey, that's what the weapon looks like right there. That's what the weapon's supposed to be looking like. But like I said, I have some kind of visual bug right now to where it looks like I'm holding a rifle. No big deal. Like I said, we're still very much in early access. So, hey, ups and downs. We're going to roll with the punches and endure with the growing pains. Can't wait for all the amazing updates in the future for this amazing game. Again, that was our gameplay of Heroic Kairos with the Epitaph. And that was all the Wayfinders. That was all the Wayfinders and all of the starting weapons, and plus the Hellswarm shotgun, which is not a starting weapon. So if you guys enjoyed all the gameplay and all the weapons, let me know in the comments which Wayfinders you guys like the most, or if I've left anything out, or which weapons you guys like the most. Don't forget, you guys can mix and match the weapons to the different Wayfinders. So whichever weapons you guys like the most, you guys can stick with your favorite Wayfinder. So yeah, we'll take a quick look at the list of Wayfinders, and yeah, we talk about them a little bit, see what we got to say about these amazing Wayfinders and these amazing games, these amazing weapons in this amazing game. All right, so that was Heroic Kairos. Some nice slashes. I like the slash abilities from Kairos. Loving the blink with the dodging. Really good. I do like that Epitaph weapon, even though I've got that visual bug right now. It's got some nice big swooshes, and especially the weapon ultimate. Of course, regular Kairos equally as good as Heroic Kairos. There's really no difference. So Kairos is Kairos is Kairos. Senja, surprisingly big, surprisingly fast. She, you know, stamina bar, even working through utilizing some of these abilities and gaining the crowd's favor. Loving that crowd reaction. Loving the fists. Typhoon, really awesome. Two-handed axe, some nice swooshes. Seemingly slow, but in my opinion, it's like slow but deliberate movements, which all the movements are very, very fluid movements, you know, like water flowing down a brook. So yeah, Senja, nice and big, nice and awesome, powerful, very powerful. And opposite of Senja, Nis, teeny tiny, very fast, surprisingly fast. Stings like a bee with these little slicer and dicer daggers. Dagger gameplay is awesome. I love watching all of the different animations, all of the different attacks and combos, even the heavy attacks. And running around, dashing through with her abilities, all anime style-ish. Very nice, very quick. We got Wingrave. Very good team player. Love the dome, love the healing, love the immunities, the status. You know, nice. He does get some buffs and stuff from his own rolls and dodge rolls and movements and that sort of thing. Love the sword and the shield. Very good sword and shield. Nice and short and sweet. It's very simple. Very nice. Very simple. Loving it. Very good. Really good for the team though. Most beneficial. Silo, awesome. He's got the long range rifle. Of course, again, you guys can mix and match the weapons to the different Wayfinders, but Silo himself's got some awesome grenades, and he's got that clone. I love using the clone to revive my teammates whenever they go down and the enemy are taking a look at the clone instead of me, you know, looking at my left hand while my right hand is picking up my teammates. And yeah, absolutely love the long range weapons. It's really hard to pick a favorite Wayfinder, pick a favorite weapon. They're all so good, and they all have their own unique abilities to fit your own unique play styles. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying the long range weapons, as well as the shorter range melee weapons. Even the simple sword and shield, very good. Very good. Use those combos, you know, mix it up between the light attacks and the heavy attacks. The dagger is very, very good. Again, super quick. But hey, I like the slow movements, the nice, giant, powerful hits, even with Senja. Again, Kairos using the Epitaph melee weapon. Super awesome, super long swings, super high power swings. Loving the weapon ability. Even here, the Hellswarm shotgun, nice and broad, a little bit slower of a fire rate, but whenever you do get all of those hits in, it packs a major punch, and the fire rate does lessen whenever you do hit those reloads properly. So Hellswarm shotgun, very good. The shotgun is awesome. Kairos with the swooshes, again, awesome. Loving that tornado from the sky doing massive amounts of damage. Super awesome. And of course, Venom S. Amazing Wayfinder. She's got all those venom procs, all those venom hits and poison hits coming from her first ability, you know, from the bolts. And even the weapon itself, Nightshade, even the weapon's ultimate ability, being able to hit for toxin, hit for venom, poison damage by itself, can stick that with any other Wayfinder and do some awesome poison damage as well. But again, guys, I hope you guys find a Wayfinder that you like. I hope you guys find a weapon that you like. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the gameplay. Hope you guys enjoyed all of the differences in abilities and enjoyed all of the different weapons. Again, this is the official Wayfinder review and weapon review. If I've left anything out, please leave a comment. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on your different Wayfinders and how you're enjoying the different Wayfinders in the game, and you know, utilizing the differences in abilities. And who do you guys like to play in squads together, mix and match? We do have squads of 3. So which 3 Wayfinders do you guys enjoy playing together to get those, you know, team heals, those quick, lightning quick in and outs, and then of course backing it up with those slow power hits, you know? Or do you guys like to inject them with some venom and then just sit back, you know, blink out of the area and stay gone, maybe hit them from a distance with a sniper while we're waiting patiently for the venom and the poison to set in? You know, all kinds of possibilities here. And I don't think any weapon is better than the other. I don't think any Wayfinder is better than the other. I think they all have their uses, and I think they all have some amazing potential. And again, especially once we start maximizing our Wayfinders to the max with the abilities, and of course, you know, filling in all the dots here and getting to level 3 on whatever it is that you guys want to. And of course, checking out the affinity and looking into the specifics of changing the stats to fit your own unique ideas and play styles and builds for these amazing Wayfinders. So I can't wait to check out all of your guys' amazing builds, and I can't wait to check out your guys' thoughts and opinions on these amazing Wayfinders and weapons. So absolutely. Thank you all very much for tuning in, for hanging out with us. Again, you guys can catch this video on YouTube. Drop some emotes in the chat. Say hi to YouTube. And of course, guys, take it easy. Stay safe out there. And hopefully we catch you again soon. Again, our next official Wayfinder and weapon review is going to be at max level. I may or may not have full-on builds for all these Wayfinders and weapons, but we're for sure going to be maxed out as much as we possibly can, if not to the fullest. And we're going to have a lot more gameplay in with each Wayfinder, so hopefully we're going to be a lot more efficient. All right, guys. Until next time. Stay safe out there. Stay focused. All right, everybody. Bye.